Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Wise Guys Entertainment. This is your host, Wyman. Oh, this cable. Oh, whoops. All right, hold on. Let me get this cable out of the way. All right, now we're talking. All right, so today we've got the slow cooker, uh, crock pot. And, excuse me. Good golly. So I got this for a family member thinking they'd love it as I've loved eating slow cooker made items. But then they never used it, and they got some other cooking appliances, so they gifted it back to me. Somewhere along the line, I think it was in the original shipping, the darn handle of the lid broke. So the lid itself is still intact, right? But you can't effectively use it if you have no handle to lift the lid off, right? So I wanted to show you the original lid. The freaking thing is shattered. It's really sad. It's like, what in blue blazes? Now, I'm not sure where on earth this would have gone. I mean, and I don't know why it has those little foamy pieces or where those could have come from because the top, well, unless they were all both on the top of the lid. But the top of the lid is, no, hold on. The bottom of the lid is a screw with a plastic washer. Then on the bottom side, there's a lock washer and something else, but the very top of the lid is flat. Well, slightly curved surface, right? At least I think that's how it was. That's kind of what it looks like. If you were to try and reassemble it, let's see, how would this connect again? Is like that. I mean, if I were careful and I had a glue that I could trust, maybe I could glue this back together, but geez, man. Oh, you know what? Also, it had handles, so the handle portion would like go over this away, if that makes sense. And then it would connect to, all right, here's another way to look at it. The two handle pieces would connect like so, or was it this way? No, I think it's this way. Like so. And then on the bottom side, the part that's on the bottom of the lid facing the food is a screw with the washer. So it's like that, right? When it's all connected. So that's a weird thing. I mean, I guess the lid itself could have fallen, but I'm pretty sure this occurred during shipment. So I reached out to crockpot support, asked about warranty coverage and seeing if they would be so kind as to send me a replacement, but they said nope, not covered. And they expect you to buy a freaking whole full lid. They won't even sell you just the knob itself. So I don't know if I'm gonna need this, but I'm gonna keep the screw and the washer. And just in case, I think I'm gonna keep the lock washer. Although technically, I think the lock washer might be on this side of it, under the lid itself. I mean, under the under the knob, but above the, well, maybe not. I was thinking above the knob, I mean below the knob, but on top of the glass. On top of the glass. So let's throw away this garbage that's all shattered to pieces. And I don't know, would this really even fit over this end? Excuse me. Okay, I'm kind of stumped. I'm not sure where this little foamy piece goes. There's nowhere inside there unless, oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait, what? The little feet, excuse me, have rubber. However, I got a user manual somewhere around here. I don't know what I do with it. All right, so it's at first I thought, well, maybe it's a replacement for these, but these are smaller and they don't go very deep. In other words, they're like a half dome, and then you could feel metal underneath it. You can actually stick a fingernail underneath. So then I thought, well, maybe it plugs these holes, whatever they are. But nope, I think there's something like this underneath the feet. Excuse me. I don't know if they'd be venting holes or overflow emergency holes in case the ceramic or whatever cracks and the liquid seeps through. Maybe this is emergency drainage holes. I don't know. Hopefully, I'll never encounter a time when something leaks out of there. Oh, yeah, holes go all the way through. So either it's like ventilation, it might be ventilation, or emergency drainage holes, but I think it's more for ventilation. All right, so let's set this aside and try and do some operation. Operation. You're the doctor. Get the doctor on the run. Operation. All right, so I went to this store. I've got this Asian store, and you could probably find it at any Asian store in your area, or um, any Asian store, or what should I call it? Um, the Chinatown. That's what I meant to say. You can probably find it in any local Chinatown. And basically, it's literally a package full of these knobs, and then it's got perforated edges. This is a cardboard sheet with very minimal advertisement, but it's just a whole sheet of knobs, and then you just bend on the perforated lines, and then tear a piece off for however many knobs you want, and then you take that out. I'm just kind of blowing off the dust. Oh man, this is a sharp edge of plastic. It's kind of like, I don't know if it is 3D printed or what, but it's got this thin edge of plastic. You could take like a sander to it, or one of those, uh, it's not a routing tool, but those tools you use in those craft projects. Okay. All right. So the new one has a wider screw than the old one, but it's also longer. So that probably will lead to more strength. Although I kind of wish it had the, let me see, this might be too big. Excuse me. I doubt that I doubt that the lock washer goes on the rubber gasket side because you want a waterproof seal on the bottom side that's facing the wood. Excuse me. I'm just curious as to how this works. I mean, maybe I should just stick with the original since that's what it was shipped with. I was just curious. Oh yeah, this is also the new one. This is also rubbery, whereas this is hard plastic. It almost fits perfect. Excuse me. I'm gonna go with the rubber one that it shipped with because it rubber against glass will form a, a better seal, I think. Okay, there's no. Let's see, is this gonna work or not? What's interesting is this doesn't even have any. Oh, this might actually work. Holy frick! Okay, so this is lock washer was used on the old one, but not on the new. So I'm gonna throw this stuff away. I don't think I'm gonna have a use for them. I mean, technically, I could put it in the odds and ends. Oh man, odds and ends bucket, but then you might go years without needing any of the odds and ends in it. All right, so I think I'm gonna pitch them. If I ever have to, I'll go to a hardware store. Sometimes, because of the versatility of your fingers and thumb, you can hold that in and then, you know, tighten further. But yeah, I'm holding the very bottom with my finger while tightening the knob portion only. I'm not even touching the metal disc, of course. See the indentation or impression on my finger? Look at that. Oh, pretty sweet. Check it out. I'd consider that a successful repair, if I do say so myself. So let's bring the slow cooker back up. Get the lid. Hell yeah. Now we're cooking with bacon. All right, so you can use this to make all sorts of cool stuff. Pork chops and rice. You could cook chicken. You can cook stew, chili. You could probably do chicken pot pie. You could probably, I think you can also even bake cakes and stuff. Maybe even breads. But I think it's predominantly used for, making large batches of pork chops and rice, soups. Uh, might be able to broil a ham in it. And they're very simple. They just have off, low, high, and warm settings. But now we're back in business. Oh yeah. I don't know how, but maybe it was during shipping or when. Oh, geez, that's not good. I don't know if you could see it, but there's very small nicks, as though the old metal lid, maybe the old metal pieces might have cut into the glass. I don't think it's enough to cause any major damage, but you can see and feel it. So at some point, it might develop a crack. I don't know. After continued use, but this has never been used yet. This will be the maiden voyage. I just haven't decided what I want to make yet. But it might be a chili or a soup or some sort of stew, maybe. Oh, maybe a curry. All right. Well, that concludes this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Um, hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next video or stream. Bye.